Okay, this is Phoenix, who sadly can't manage to do it, and I'm also getting so salty with my losing streaks. But there were a couple of these back and forth matches where I didn't brick so bad at least. This is my branded deck. I pretty much crafted away some stuff. Right now, it's mostly about the same. The only difference is I decided Super Poly and two more fusions, Guardian Chimera, and pretty much, and also Tynagel. But I also got a decent amount of materials, which is about a total of about 45 materials. I craft 2 more yards if I feel like it, but I don't feel like anytime soon for Super Poly in mind whatsoever. I still ran the anti-spell ingredients, but there were a couple of matches where I actually felt like it wasn't worth using at all. But it would help some of my matches, I realized, but not much, and I gotta get used to timing using it. Now what's going on to the matches? Sadly, pretty much I don't have much footage for outside rank right now for my deck since I was also making modifications to some. But it's mostly just Cyber Dragon me time, so not really much. The branded essentially didn't matter. I decided branded fusion here. Go into that. Go into Lubin. I decided I got into Lumen. Mostly the shuffle, get a crossrate designator, since I don't feel like I actually need it this fight, as I first thought. Since I don't feel like it's needed at all so far, from what I can tell. But apparently I found out I should have kept it for crossrate designator. But also this is pre the deck, perma rate. Before modifications. Chimera happened, I activate imperm. No matter how I did this last turn, it would have still done the same thing. That's social back in the hand. Activate Fallen. It would have done Blackout. I saw Branded Fusion again. Get go into Lemon. Element's effect. Banish those two, so they can't be targeted. Go into Mirror Jade. I had enough for OTK. Which is surprising enough, since it doesn't have enough for the deck. Okay, next up, second match. Okay, I got it. This hand was essentially a brick city already in mind, but I had a couple outs. Activate Branded Fusion. Go into Lobin. Or Lobin skill. Go into Banish it and Albus. Go into Mirror Jade. Fusion Destiny. Set Call by the Grave. Which I discovered is a which one I'm facing. I also realized later this match that I pretty much would have bad timing. Since I realized that card. I should have activated it, but it wouldn't mattered. I should have activated it so at least I could banish the last card in the hand. Set Brandon lost. Activate. Apparently Brandon lost. I should have activated anything else, which is hilarious by itself. Get rid of those two. Next time activate Brandon lost. Go into 11. Go into that combo. Right. Go through a 3-way card. Oop. Go into Masquerade. Add Tribe Brigade, mostly for a necessary card. Add Branded Fusion again for next turn. If they manage to have it, I have an out. But it wouldn't have mattered. This is a sudden time it happened, which is hilarious to me. And now some losses. There were a couple though, but I need to go back and see which ones they were real quick before resuming. This hand was pretty much bricked anyway. Essentially, I was like, anti-spell might help this match, but I don't think it would match anymore. So probably discard Massey since they don't feud special summon that much, I think. But also I realized pretty much I forgot to set Branded Lost. Since I could have actually gone for double banish either way, but it wouldn't have mattered. Go into Future Destiny. What I should have done was get rid of Fallen Paradise, I actually realized. But I also should have done it. But it wouldn't matter, as we noticed from Metal Reflect Slime. So either way, I would have destroyed that card. So it was a good move, but the Branded Lost move wasn't. What I should have done was get rid of this first, actually. I realized that combo-wise later on, that's what cost me a match when looking back on it, when I was thinking about it a couple times. Your Manic Phoenix Suppressor, any source of skill. Got negated again. Phoenix Enforcer. I can't activate it. I should have set it when I sent. Actually, I didn't. Oh. Activate Hero would have been a problem. But this is what cost me a match. They did this and they decided they had an OTK match to make rival Lord Phantasm first top deck draw. And sadly, I wish I fusion summoned out the necessary materials. Allowing in that in my hand. Other words, it would be different. But I do know the timing where I actually went off at least. Okay, next up, another match happening. The only thing I don't like at this is that I always gotta take notes, but I keep forgetting. Huh. This hand was bricked. I essentially first decided to discard it and it in my hand. I went to Alaman. Activate Alaman's skill to go into a fusion again. Go into Master Grade. Get those two back in the deck by discarding Blue Ice. I had another one in my hand, so I can also afford to. So I was revealing, I was like, what the heck am I facing? And that's when I got top deck Light, so I was like, oh my god, really? Wish I didn't. The Magic Cylinder. I didn't want to play the burn deck, so I decided to go on Phoenix Forcer. I decided to do that since that card is going to become more annoying since I know it's in the fusion deck every single time. Allowing activate. I still have Jawblade flaring out. I still have no knowledge what my opponent's doing. I decided to do Magic Cylinder since they're ending a turn, but I have Jet in the grave now. Main reason why I comboed off it. Going to Phoenix Forcer. If Phoenix Enforcer, it was just to not kill. I was like, yeah, they figured I was going to do it. Go into Robin. Put my fusion material back, go into Mirror Jade skill. Send a little bit back to grave. Imagine it would not be destroyed battle, which I'm glad that now I actually didn't do. Now another match. Sadly for this whole event I don't have deck profiles to go off of. But the last match might have been just burn mostly. With the whole Mirror Force. My hand opening was pretty bad. I decided to immediately go into Max C. Even if it doesn't proc, it's just gonna be bricked to my hand. I'm just gonna toss Blue Eyes to grave either way. And the fun thing is, I went back into Max E, which was hilarious to me at the time. Next up, I was like, oh, bright opening. I got everything I need now. Went to Bright Infusion. Gone to Lobbin. Discard Blue Eyes. Go into that. Now pretty much I managed to get plus cards on my hand. Went to Mirror Jade. Vision of Destiny. I didn't want to risk whatever card they had. Air Force wasn't out, but I had this that I actually had to open up with brand new opening, which is the one thing I liked. And I had outs, which was nice. Also, here's a matchup which unfortunately I did not realize would become bad. I bricked bad enough virtual worlds. They essentially comboed all popped off, and it made me wish I actually had everything I needed to destroy them with that deck. The curl happened, and I realized later that's when my misplay happened. Mirror Jade would not cut it out. I thought pretty much they would not have much more openings pull off, but I don't. This is my first time playing against the virtual world. But I wish that card. I should have gotten rid of it, I think. But the bonus is that I can play it out. Made me wish I actually timed up my virtual world in mind. I should have played it out by waiting for it. Also, this is the part where I realized I'm just glad I got rid of Masquerade. This is the part where I'm trying to figure out whether or not I can actually target it. And that's when I realized I did not realize that it's also active during my turn, which I effing hate. The cards should be limited or something, or hard turn, like during your turn and such. Okay, here's another match. I got a couple more. I'm mostly looking at some at least 3 turns, if it's good or not. I don't remember this one. I did most of these on stream, but there's only salvageable ones. That at least have some attractions. Triangulate, I was like, they're gonna special, if I remember this deck right. Also, some people just run it just so that they can add cards. I'm just gonna let this one play out. Sadly with this, monsters I for some reason can't control it. I decided to make them set at grave since I know that card's gonna be revived, and if it's revived, but I also play Branded Lost, which would have hurt. It took a couple turns, but I also figured that that card would come back. I activated Branded Lost, which would just let me send Jet. Sadly, I couldn't target that one for some reason, so I went to Libin. With a Libin this, I actually discard Ash since I won't need this as duel, I figured. Went to Mirror Jade. Opponent couldn't chain that, but I also had they know I had Tri Brigade, so they're just trying to bail that card out. But also I still set my branded in mind. The opponent decided can actually airship, but it still would have not happened. I think. Let's see. They could still activate most of their background to mostly go into their peripheral. I'm pretty sure they have at least have two. That could be wrong, but so I feel like could happen. And I could go into another fusion instantly. And almost the monster is destroyed but ballied away. Here's more. Most of this hand, this is one duel I'd rather just let you think about what's going to happen here. But I will say, I wish I timed my Harvey's Featherster better. Because I could have banned out more cards you'll see next turn. Most of the hands break down, I can't do anything with it. This is where I wished I actually had outs. This is where I wish I instantly knew to have Imperial Wall, and I was like, yeah, near Lake of Ash. Interesting. I'm waiting for that monster mostly to get most of them out. Activate card demise again. This is where the second turn I wish I actually kept in a hand, as you notice. Random fusion into 11. The one thing I realized is that it will not activate effects, but since I can't proc it since it's not face up, I can't do anything with it. Fortunately, on the other hand, I have my jet still in the hand, and the blue ice that can trigger off and pop off. Attack directly, get rid of that, whatever it is. Sadly, Destiny or Fingers of Destiny. The only thing I hate about it is that it's changed the defense mode and I can't change it. Starting in war, I was like, I still got some stuff. Go into Libyan. Discard that since I don't have a use for it. Go into Phoenix the Forcer now. Being out the last card in the back row. Sigurd Blast is the one thing I wasn't expecting. But I had enough for game either way. Next up, pretty much, I don't know how much good wins when they run out, or interesting play-by-plays, so I'm mostly going back to losses at this point. That happened. Since this is all on stream, I don't feel like admitting it. At least I can explain more about the process. Branded Fusion, I had Ash, but I have a second Ash in my hand. Branded again. My thought process is if I get load, but I'm surprised I got flowed of all things. The only thing I hate about Flow, this whole matchup is already dead as we know. This is where I think I messed up. I should have stuck only to 2 fusions. Instead, I overextended and should have not done it. So this is where I think everything went wrong. And also, I could have kept Alabaz in deck to fusion summon later on. My opponent would not get rid of Mirror Jade, and I didn't feel like playing this out. I have nothing else I can play. They still have some stuff, and I also, the only stuff I could go into would be Babushka, and I couldn't. If I had just waited off on playing Incredible, I could have at least had my outs. That just is the consequences I realized. The Babushka would have been to play, but we also think that the flow unexpected wins would not happen, so it would not matter. This overall, you can see where this is going. My head, I can't work with it. Mirror Jade will proc, but they're just going to send a grave otherwise. Maxi again, I was like, are you kidding me? Also, doesn't it happen? And we all know where this went towards at this point. So pretty much, I actually realized I forgot to add a few matches. Sadly, as I noticed, onto the list, or at least that were a few days old, which I didn't think I was gonna play. Note. I think something happened on camera. I just forgot to add them. If so, very much there will be 2 streams ago as of this video's update. Being, I'll probably just post it in the description. So, something came up, and I also forgot about obligations that happened today, setting up some holiday stuff, among other things, and setting up some stuff in decorations house. Overall, I'll be streaming on due days on the other platform tomorrow, probably around 7 p.m. EST, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but should be around roughly that time. I just gotta do my dailies and stuff ahead of time. Overall, I hope you guys have a good day and night wherever you are by the time I upload this.